Hey guys, and welcome to our Bosnian trip. I don't know what we're gonna see and what we're gonna talk about yet, but the energies is flowing crazy here. There's a high frequency from when all the pyramids was built, and there is the frequencies from the Second World War, and actually also for the last war which were here. So it's crazy, it's one crazy wave. It starts with a lot of open fields and love, and it turns into this compact feeling of not letting go and sorrow, and it goes like spinning on a roller coaster. So I really don't know yet what to expect, but I look very much forward to bringing you guys into it. We can go places like here, like the pyramids, where we have this different kind of energetic layers. For example, we are on the top of the sun right now, and they're sending an energy force up. It's very strong and very clean, and many people can feel it when they come here. The thing is that if you have only one energy form and it's not combined with the other elements, it is strong but only strong within itself. It's not combined, it's not oneness. If you apply the other energy forms, like combining it together so it becomes into oneness, then it will do like a spiral. Then it will do exactly what was meant to be done. The pyramids was meant to be an energetic field, and it is exactly the same for humanity kind. Man and woman is not meant to be together from ego to an ego perspective. They're meant to be together in an alignment, so they can combine the forces, so the Kundalini thing will rise, and that feeling of unconditional love, it's exactly the same feeling when you combine all the pyramids together. That is the ultimate oneness. But it has to be in the pure form. It has to be not one energy that wants to be stronger than the other, or one energy that wants or craves the other energy, but that they meet together from heart to heart. Pyramids in pure form for pure form. And then you apply the frequency which you don't have in a pure form towards each other, and it will go like a spiral into pure oneness. And that creates energy, that creates healing, that upgrades self-healing. It upgrades the nature and everything which is life. It brings life. That is the biggest sequence in the world, in a pure form. If we could just go back to that, let go of ego perspective, go back to oneness, want to meet together in these heart frequencies, then we can cure ourselves, we can cure our planets. That is what we did with the pyramids. It was meant to create life on Earth. That is what people are, meant to create life. They get kids. If they do it from a pure perspective, they will increase the power within. Not get sick, but it increases the power. The pyramids, they create life, they create nature. It's exactly the same. We are all one. Nature, heaven, earth, the universe, people, animals. We are all one. Yeah, because what I feel is the energy's force within each pyramid, and when I feel the pyramid of the sun, the energy's force is going up in an open field, as I have said before, and here it's more combined, it's more compact. And then I try to see how it is alignment within the other pyramids, and when I look at the pyramid of love, there's also the structure inside is actually different than it is the pyramid of the sun and the pyramid of the moon. But also the source haven't been let out yet. That means the energetic flow which the people can feel is not yet visible for the people to see. So therefore it doesn't feel that powerful, because the awareness around it is not so close yet. The other thing is, if we remove all the buildings and go back in the underlying layers, there is these ley lines which combine all the pyramids together, which show or which was used to create the energy form, so everything could grow and everything was within alignment in the self-projected energetic ways. And then the first layer came, the first generation, and they start building and they start using the forces, and everything was actually still okay until that the controlling part came, where one man wanted more than the others. And then you can see like how the dark energy came down, and they forgot the beauty of the nature, they forgot the beauty of oneness, and every man wanted for himself. And then it start like a flower which have blossom, and then it does that thing afterwards. Yeah, so it starts not growing exactly how it was meant to grow, because humanity kind forget what pure oneness is. And as the dark time appeared, they tend to come far and far away from the oneness, and ego tend to become bigger and bigger. And then you can see the war, the first one, where every house was still made of wood and stones, and a lot of the places was burned and had to start all over. But the energy force was still alignment, so much of nature rebuilt itself very fast. If you look at the places which was burned down, then nature rebuilt itself very fast here still. But the sorrow for that wall was still here and still flowing in that underlying. It was from the 1400, and it's still there. And then we built the society which we have today. And there was this war which is not so long ago, where a lot of people died, and many people are still in grief over that, and they link emotionally to that. So you can see that energy form also, it goes around in this wave. So it feels like an openness when you look to the sun, and then this weight of sadness come and want to draw you down, and then you feel the heart connection in the oneness, because then you go up in the energy form again, and then you are drawn to the moon. The moon makes you go inside of yourself. The moon make you reconnect towards the earth, where the sun make you reconnect to the upstairs. So once again, what we really want to pay attention to is oneness. It is the divine within nature. It's the divine within humanity kind. So let's forgive everything which once happened, and let go of this heavy energy. We don't need it any longer. It doesn't serve our soul perspective. It doesn't serve humanity kind to look mad at each other. So let's let it go and reconnect to the oneness we all came from. You are source. I am source. We are all part of the same source. What happened when it was built was that all the material, if you look inside of this material, then the material is combined into one material. That means all the different kind of frequencies put together into one. So what they did was they were combining all the material into one platform. So actually eventually this did break. It have been one piece. And I even think you can measure it. Yeah. And it's the same on the moon. It's the same material. It's the same way they use the energy to combine the forces within the material. Okay, if you feel this kind of energy form, it's still a light energy form, as it was on the sun pyramid. That was also a light energy form. On the sun pyramid, the energy form is going up, like opening up, and the moon is like drawing in, but also light. Everything is light frequency. Everything is created out of oneness, from out of love. And this frequency is more soft. It's also uplifting, but it's somehow more more earthly. It's like from this point you can how is this? It's like when you combine the elements, you have the water element, this feminine flowing, and it feels a bit like that. It's like the created kid, and somehow, and then we have the sun and the moon, which is plus and minus. And this is actually those two together in a very, very, very mild form, like soft form. Yeah. It brings joy and it brings peace into the people who stand here, who's around this mountain. What it is really important to remember is these spots, is this love connection, is this frequency. If we could meet within that love frequency, if we could look and feel these places instead of focus on the graveyard on the other side of the street, then we could heal ourselves, we could heal our family, we could heal each other, and we can combine into oneness. This is why they are showing themselves now. We need to combine our energy forces once again, not only on an earthly level but also on a human level. We need to come together into oneness. And I'm so happy and so grateful for the pyramids showing their energy now, and that people are drawn so much towards it. Because as they are drawn towards this energy, they will realize what they truly are drawn to is the pure form of love within oneself. So we actually stand here on one of the tumulus to find out that everything we need to discover is inside of ourselves. But these powerful forces from Earth help us remember. So let's forget all about, let's forgive all that have happened in the past. Allow that hard, heavy energy to flow away. And let's go into the love. Let's meet in the love and the oneness and see the present moment. Be here, be now. Let's stand together, have fun, feel joy, experience life. No longer live in the past. Like there's three generations. First there is the purity where the pyramids was built and what they were truly made of and for. And then there was the generation where they disconnected from the alignment and people had the ego thing going on and start to interfere with each other, holding the vibration down. Man wanted control. And in that time there still was pureness, and the pureness they wanted to turn into witchcrafts and stuff like that. So we have this queen have to run away from her castle, and she was hiding, actually used the tunnel to come away, and she was hiding over here for a while. And when you look at it from her perspective, it's a kind of sorrow because she had to leave everything behind, but also for the first time she felt peace in a very long time. Then the next picture is the third generation, and that is where we have all the tunnels. When you look inside of the tunnels, when I walk inside of the tunnels, there's still these dead people sitting in the hallway, and they sit for, I think it must be like the Second World War, and they were hiding there for months. They were sitting and they were locked in, and when you looked at it, some of them have this disease called like mushrooms on your skin, and other of them had where it actually eats your skin up because they start rotting. They have been there so long. But you also see love. You also see that, of course, within this pain, a lot of pain, the family hold together. They hold together in the love frequency. So what actually kept them alive was that they learned how to bond within that. They learned that born through all the pain, through all the suffering, but that bond kept them alive for so long. When you look through it and go further into the tunnel, many of them is still there because they died, but 356 people actually came out of there alive, but really, really hungry. Yeah. I'm just gonna talk for the water, and it is soft and it's always flowing, and it was meant to be flowing. It was actually meant to combine the pyramid's energy together, because water contains consciousness, so therefore the energy could flow through the river, through the water, and also in that oneness it could run all through the balcony. But right now the water is not happy. It feels like we forgot all about its purpose. It feels like resistant. It has resistant upon how we're treating it and how we're treating ourselves. It flows, and it's like it's carrying all the dirt we dump in it, but it don't want to. So therefore the flow, energetic flow, is not flowing as it probably should. What it was meant to was, it was meant to contain consciousness, and it was meant to let consciousness move through the whole country, so that consciousness could be shared within the plants and within the ground and within the people who eats the plants and who eats the things who comes from the ground, so we all could be connected in this oneness. So actually the river and the water have a big role within our life. The river and the water contains so much knowledge, so much consciousness, but we forget all about that. 70% of what we are is water. So we are actually one with this river. This river knows more about ourselves than we do ourselves. So remember that. Remember that we all are one. Remember that water is not something you just drink because you're thirsty. Water is a part of you. Pureness within the water is pureness within you. So link with that. Become one with that. It's like the river never forgets. The river remembers everything, and as we threw stuff of our consciousness inside of the river that becomes a part of the river, it doesn't like to carry our shit around, but it tells us, give it to me and I will let it flow. But we have to be in alignment with that. We have to be aware of that. That is possible. By releasing whatever trauma and whatever stock and sickness we have inside, we can let it flow away like a stream from the river. And the river is really willing to carry it for us. But we have to be connecting to that, have to appreciate that the river works in alignment with us, that to dive in the river is to be born anew and be thankful, be grateful for the river, be grateful for the oneness, be grateful that we can help each other having a wonderful life on this planet. And now the softness of the river is passing by, and it's showing love, it's showing harmony, it's showing will to corroborate, will to join forces in making this place a beautiful place again. We just have to listen to the river. We have to listen to the mountains, to the pyramids, to the nature. We find all the answers we seek. We find them inside, and we find them in what we create in this world. And when we pass all that, there's a lot of joy, there's a lot of happiness, there's a lot of good memories in this river as well. There have been so many happy people swimming, so many happy fish jumping around. It has really been a pure place. It's like always flowing. And I truly want to come back to that. I truly want to come back to that state of mind, state of consciousness. But we have to work together to get it there. We have to see the true beauty within everything. We have to see the true beauty within the river. And now it's only sending love out. It's like happy streams just starting to dancing because you get it attention. You show it, hey, we are one. And as you connect with that, it connects with you in that frequency line. So what you pick up for the river is no longer the sorrow and the pain that was in the beginning. Now you are connected to the pure love and happiness within the river. And exactly that feeling will help you heal inside. It feels like if you take all the pyramids together, then we have the sun which is opening up, we have the moon which is drawing the energy in, and the heart which is not activated yet, and then you come here, and this feels like it is the willpower. It brings you lighter, and it brings you more confident in being who you are. So it's the willpower, it's the power within. So it heals like the pain and stuff like that inside of your body, because when you gain self-trust, then the frequency that was from the past within your body will start to release. So all the lower self-esteem feelings you might be carrying around, which actually is like trauma in your body, so you feel this physical pain, this mountain helps release. So again, all the energies, forces come together, and when they come together into oneness, it creates the heart. That's why we have the pyramid of love, which have to be reactivated by combining the three elements. That's really beautiful. It is like the power of the power of the pyramid, the power of the mountain is this wild creature. I guess this is why we call it the dragon, because it has a lot of energy, it has a lot of self-esteem, and by feeling it, by walking here, you become part of it. If you do not have resistance upon it, if you're not afraid of it, you become part of the mountain, you become part of the wild nature. But everything is love. But right now it's not combined, right now it's not connected towards the heart, so it's just one energy form. And here is wildness, it's power, and on the sun it's just open up, and on the moon it's driving in. If you combine the three sources, then the energy is flowing. But right now it's just 3 points that have a lot of energy, but contained, it's inside, and it needs to be released into one force. So we are back to oneness. It's really beautiful. So one of the other things which I've picked up is these 3 life generations, and this one is, let's call it the religion war. First everything was actually like second it became a Christian place, and we had the monasteries and we had the churches, and it is also a kind of ego perspective. We want to hold people together within one belief system. At that time it served the purpose of the people and their expansion, and it's like seeing the little kids running in of the doors around Christmas time and gathering around and playing, and then the priest is yelling at them, and you can just see their energy is like, oh, duty, and then they go inside. But there was a lot of joy here and before the war, and then I see the war, which was between the two sides of the religions, the Muslims and the Catholics, and they teared this place completely down, and before that there was the plate. The plate actually came in before, and we still look in the 1600, I think, yeah, where there was a lot of sorrow, and the sorrow is still lying around here. The joy is here, but the sorrow is. And then there's the newest war, which was in the 1990s somewhere, which closed this place down. And when I look into it, it is what everything comes from is love. The message is love, the underlined message within the Christian religion is oneness. It is find the love within you and love your neighbor exactly the same, and you will know what God is. When you look into the Muslims' beliefs, the Quran, it is exactly the same. The underlying message is love. It's oneness with God. God is within us. We have to be alive. We listen to our hearts. But because man changed religion into an ego perspective over time, we came split up. The ego split us up. They did it through 6 generations, and this one was one of the heavy one. So in this town, it's mostly driven by the Muslims now. But the grief is still here, not only within the Catholic people, but also the Muslims. So why are we divided? Everybody carry the grief. Everybody suffered within the pain and the sorrow and the anger which they went through, fighting each other. We are all humans. We are all living beings. So let's see each other for what we truly are. Let my soul see your soul, and the other way around. You are not your religion. You are not your beliefs. You are a spiritual being having a human experience, just as I am. So let's meet together in that perspective. It feels like lonely pyramids, you know, they contain all this energy, all this power. When we walk through it or by it, we can feel it. But they feel lonely. They want it to be oneness, they want it to be combined. Like if you want something to grow, you need the water and you need the earth and you need the sun. It's exactly the same. So they just want to be combined into one force again, so they can recharge and then they can be oneness. And that is the message of these mountains. They are amazing as they are. So pure energy, so strong. But when you combine, the pyramid will become into a spiral of oneness. And that is what we are seeking. That is what we are seeking outside of ourselves, but to find it within.